Brittany, here to bring you an art-filled day. Today, this art fill will be a sort of palette challenge. So I recently read this book. It's a children's book titled Kitty and the Sky Garden Adventure. It's actually like the third one in the series by this author and illustrator, but I was intrigued to pick it up because of the illustrations and the limited color palette that the illustrator used. It's a very, very cute story, and I recommend the reading with your children or family. It gave me the idea to go ahead and limited color palette challenge, and I'm not really gonna focus too much on like having some kind of prompt for me to draw. I'm just going to know that I have this limited palette and create something and then color it with these colors. So I'll go ahead and get started. So my first step, as you can see in the top left corner, I took the image of the front cover of the book and extracted my palette colors from that using the eyedropper tool. Now, if I had decided to do this traditionally, I would have just had to color match with whatever medium I wanted to use and then did swatches that way. But digitally, we can just use that eyedropper tool and get the colors directly. And the next step was to do a sketch and kind of brainstorm and figure out what I wanted to do. And I decided on a landscape and doing a mysterious kind of spooky house, complete with an owl in a tree in the front. Only the owl knows the mystery. And this was actually, I think, influenced by the book I had been reading at the time, which was Gallant by V.E. Schwab. It was kind of a spooky house story with mysterious elements, so I think that definitely had a play in where I went with this. Now, next was the main drawing, and I decided to go with a pure black background like the illustrator would choose for most of her full page drawings in the book. So that was already kind of an easy decision for me based on the palette. And then I went into the details of this house, which I am not quite familiar with architecture drawings as I probably could be. I don't draw a lot of buildings usually. Usually it's more like nature scenic drawings. So that was a little bit of a challenge, and also more so a challenge because I'm usually not a digital artist either. So doing straight lines and ruler related things was a kind of learning curve, I guess you could say. I know the trick that you hold shift from a point and it will draw your straight line for you. But a couple things I ran into with that is it made the line too thick sometimes, so then I had to delete it, go back, and then change the line width, or like the point width, to a smaller point, to like 5 point to 3 point or whatever in the paintbrush or pen I was using. So that was a little bit of a learning curve too, because I would draw too thick of a line. I didn't want a thick line. And then the second thing I ran into is I decided to do siding, the wooden slat siding, and for doing traditional, you can just set down a ruler or straight edge of some kind, and then you have that line all the way across whatever area you're drawing that line. So like when I hit the windows part, like normally on a piece of paper, traditionally you can just kind of lift your pencil and then continue the line on the other side of the window. But I don't know how to use rulers in the digital art programs in that way. It would have ended up me just having a ton of lines across my paper in the background. So I ended up just using my shift straight line tool trick, and doing that, but then it made the lines not exactly line up, but I decided that was okay because this is kind of a mysterious old, kind of broken down, shabby house. So in this case, it's fine. But if I had been wanting to do a more pristine looking, newer architecture house, I need to figure out that ruler tool in this program. So if you know how to use rulers in Clip Studio Paint, please let me know in the comments, or link to another YouTube video that shows you how to or something. I don't know if you can post links, but if you can, that'll probably help me. And then the next steps were to figure out the main colors for the most part. I did kind of bright yellow windows as if the lights were turned on in this house. And then the leaves, of course, would be green. I kind of left most of the house and like the siding and the roof to be just the outline of the white, because I noticed a lot of her drawings were kind of like that, and I kind of felt it was like a better look to it than to add color with the white. I also noticed none of her drawings had outlines with the white, really. It was mostly just the dark black background and the shapes taking form with the colors. So I kind of went off of that and went with the colors as just kind of accents, and kind of formed their own thing instead of relying on the outlines as much. I did use the white as kind of a texture, which I noticed this illustrator also did. And then I used some gray to kind of accent a little bit on the house, just add some color to the porch and the front door, and both the doors I decided I could use that blue. I kind of didn't really know what else to use the blue for because I didn't draw any flowers or anything, and I don't know, it just kind of went fine with the doors, and I didn't want to color the house blue, and I didn't really think it would look too great to cover up the shingles and the roof with that blue. And then I took a look, and it felt kind of bare in the background and foreground and stuff, so I decided to add some little white trees to fill out the rest of the surroundings to make it look like it was kind of a little secluded house in this kind of forest of pretty much dead trees, but maybe it's just winter and the leaves haven't grown back yet, or it's fall and they're just starting to fall off. But yeah, so this is my final drawing. I hope you enjoyed this little challenge of mine. If you made it this far, leave an owl emoji or a house emoji. I don't know if they have a house emoji. And if you like this content, please click that thumbs up at the bottom or the subscribe button for more of this art stuff. Thanks for watching.